doesn't quite get. It takes a little bit of a detour, but still faster than having to walk down all those stairs. Gets the diamond out of the orb. Looks like Billick is going to Ondel to pick up another oak stake. And all Dev dropped was another set of laurels. So bronze is still necessary because there was a crystal in there. We have had some diverging pathways, but because there's been no real progression other than the crystals, it's really hard to say who's ahead right now. It's probably going to come down to who finds the block breaker first. See what the graveyard duck has. He gets a good whip upgrade. So now Billick's got the chain whip as well, while Big Daddy Drums is heading into his Berkeley run. I think his time's at 0 because he just never started his live split. He didn't DQ at all. Mummies and plants are among the worst enemies to find on the river because they just are a wall. Like, you can't jump over them. Your best bet is to try to boost through them if you don't have laurels. Ooh, Big Daddy Drums did not jump over that block, which is unfortunate because we do know with Billick's path that he does need that orb to get the crystal, and he's gonna fade it. Oh, he didn't have a oak stake anyway. So, going to the left, he's going to be going to back to the Graveyard Duck, and he's going to find his Morning Star. I'm guessing he's probably going to stop by Ondel to pick up another oak stake first. Yeah, getting that far into Berkeley and then not breaking the orb, especially knowing that since we know that there's a crystal in there, that he's not just gonna bleed time. That could cost him the race if he's gonna try to skip it. Because especially as you get more progression and more things open up, you're not going to want to dive back into a mansion you already dived. Big Daddy Drums finds his Morning Star, and he's letting Medusa garlic himself to oblivion. I think he's going to try to use that Medusa to boost again. That's going to be really tough with the Morning Star. Oh, he did it. First try almost, so... He is going to go into Laruba, which is technically out of logic for him right now because he doesn't have a block breaker. But he certainly has enough offense to be able to deal with the enemies here. But once again, we're seeing another another mansion full of graveyard enemies. I don't believe he did pick up a stake, Kalari. I don't think I saw that when he went for his garlic. But I'd say his chances are decent that there could be a oak stake in Laruba, since we've only seen one so far. So we have 4 other places they could be, but we also have a lot of checks that are behind blocks. Oh, Medusa at the top of the stairs. And a harpy too. This might be a situation where you just want to pop a laurel just to get up to the top of the stairs. Yep, there it goes. Can't blame him 1 second for that. Got somebody trying to sell a silver knife that we'll just say no thank you to. Especially with the gold knife and Jova, there's absolutely no reason you would need a silver knife in this seed. There's an oak stake for him, so he'll be able to break the orb in Laruba. And he'll be able to grab a free one on the way out if he wants to. So inside the orb, we have another set of laurels. Carmilla showing off her ability to burn everyone's time. We get a silk bag. Yep. And then he's gonna go back and get another free oak stake before leaving, which is a great call. Gets tripped up by that magic spike, but so here we're going to see a little bit of a diverging path. So Billick, instead of taking a boost from Medusa in the graveyard, is going to, looks like he's going to use the tornado. Looks like Billick's play is he's going to check in Doina right away and just start clearing all the way to the left, because he knows that a nail and or holy water has to be somewhere, the first block breaker has to be somewhere between Doina and Laruba, so he can just do a full sweep. Interesting. Oh, that's right. Yeah, he wouldn't be able to go through Debius Woods without a block breaker. So he's going to make a straight line for Rover at this point. And it looks like Big Daddy Drums is doing the exact same play. Doina was the ring. Okay. I was wrong again. Big Daddy Drums does look like he's going to Rover. Oh, I was on the wrong screen. Billick still has a few screens left to go. The branching path to Varos and the branching path to to Rover look identical, especially at nighttime. So they're kind of like on the same path, and you could argue that Big Daddy Drums is, 5 or 6 screens ahead, but the big difference, though, is that Billick has the red crystal from Berkeley that Big Daddy Drums doesn't at this point. Otherwise... and Big Daddy Drums has also cleared Laruba, where Billick hasn't been there yet. Which is still technically out of logic for both of them since they don't have a block breaker. There's the block breaker. The Rover Merchant had the holy water the whole time. What's nice about it being there too is that since they found it right there, they can still do the wrong warp in Rover. Almost gets the double drop, but we'll have to do the quick walk around the block. We know one of the algebra checks is unnecessary since it's just more laurels. We'll see what the orb is here. Eyeball, so it's another progression item. Gets you one step closer to go mode. As they both high five here on the purple block. Ooh, Billick not quite having the screen scrolled far enough, so he still fell into the drink there. That should have been fine. This should be fine. There we go. We do have some interesting scenarios lining up. If I were Big Daddy Drums here, I think that I would start in algebra and make my way to the left doing all the checks. And after I'm done with Rover, if I were Billick, I would probably cemetery... Oh no! He just threw it in the wrong direction! That could be what Big Daddy Drums needs to get back into the race. You hate to see that. No, my move is doing it in Laruba, but still throwing it not at the orb. So the best case scenario for Billick would be one of the checks in algebra is an oak stake and he goes back down there to check the orb. Yeah, so right now Big Daddy Drums did a dive into Berkeley but missed the orb, which was the red crystal, and Billick missed the orb in Rover, which was the eyeball, so they're both required. Something else Billick could do if this ends up, if we see what this vendor has in Big Daddy Drums screen. If this is not an oak stake, it's a nail. Okay. So something Billick could do, obviously he doesn't know this, but if he does the cemetery jump, goes to Laruba, clears it out, but then gets an oak stake on the way out, then he could come back and hit Rover while coming back and checking basically everything in one sweep. So there's a hint there. I mean, Big Daddy Drums already knew there was a free oak stake in Laruba, but Billick could find that if he doesn't go to Laruba. He would know that. Oh, and there's an oak stake, and so Drums could use this to his advantage if he wanted to jump back into Berkeley and grab that orb. Yeah, it looks like Billick is electing to do the cemetery jump to go over to Laruba. It hits level 3 on the way. Big Daddy Drums is going to check the Chain Whip vendor, which is a double whammy because you also get to see a clue in here. And unfortunately, it's a clue to something they already grabbed. You find even more laurels. So we'll be checking the dagger vendor. And another oak stake. He elects to buy it, although I don't think he remembered that he just grabbed one in Daddy's path. So he's still gonna fade the Berkeley orb for now, so that's gonna work in Billick's favor. This is gonna be an interesting race to see how, when either one of them decides to go back for that check. unfortunately, you do not want to be jumping or in the air when you're on the boat ride, because that will put you into the drink. Billick finds his oak stake in Laruba. I believe that was the only thing that you really found in here that you needed, because we're going to find an oak, or we're going to find a silk bag and some laurels. Meanwhile, in Alba, we have a rib, which he can't afford yet. So neither player has found a magic cross yet. However, if... Okay. Billick warps out after killing Carmilla. If Big Daddy Drums finds the magic cross here, he could use the logic in his favor to understand that the crystal upgrade, looks like it's just the regular dagger, the crystal upgrade has to be on this side of the cliff for logic purposes. So he knows that it can't be at this point in Debius Woods, Bodley, or Doina. Gonna do a little bit of farming outside of Alba here to get enough hearts to buy that rib. Billick is going to re-up on his oak stake here. Big Daddy Drums gets his rib. So after these next checks, it'll be really interesting to see which each player decides to do. There's the magic cross for Big Daddy Drums. So he has all the checks except for Berkeley done on this side. So logic would say by process of elimination, the Berkeley orb has its crystal. So Billick warping back to Jova, and he's going to do his left side checks. He's going to check his Alba and his Ondol. Billick only needs the magic cross, which he's going to find in Ondol, and the eyeball, which we know is in the rover orb. Meanwhile, Big Daddy Drums is going back into Berkeley. To go finally get the red crystal. Billick almost decides to get the dagger, it looked like. Gave it a second thought at least. You got the Morning Star, you don't necessarily need the dagger anymore, but it can be nice to do a quick kill on Dracula. And Drums gets his crystal. So now all he needs is the ring from Doina. Billick gets his magic cross. So both players are. Billick is already across the tornado. Big Daddy Drums is heading towards it. And another oak steak from the Flame Whip vendor. Once Billick gets through Bodley here, he's going to realize that he needed that Orban rover. It's a nice first try floor drop through the environment. Big Daddy Drums making the safe play to just grab every check. Well, he's gonna fade the vendor. Billick is farming some parts before he gets down to the vendor, which isn't a bad play, because once you hit that vendor, if you don't have enough to buy whatever he's got, you have to make another cycle through the mansion. The vendor's got the Flame Whip, but either chose not to grab it or didn't have enough parts. So Billick at this point knows that he needs to go back to Rover, and showing his disappointment by doing a few kneel downs there. Big Daddy Drums hits go mode in Doina. beheading to Dracula, only to come back to Doina for his PR tour shortly. The enemy's just not letting him go down the stairs. There he goes. Big Daddy Drums is on the last screen before entering Castlevania. So we can go ahead and get your guesses in chat right now of how many floor drops you think you'll get between 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Maybe get one. Let's see how he decides to finish this out. He can either whip him to death, golden knife stun lock him to death, holy water him to death. He's going with the whip strats, which is fairly safe, especially with the golden knife. So get your GGs in chat for Big Daddy Drums. It was a really interesting race. Looks like Billick is forfeiting. Oh, he's still going. When he cracks the orb here, he's gonna find his last item. And now he's in go mode. It was a really interesting race with how much the game kind of forced them into the same route because of no block breaker as long as it was. They did take different routes in getting there. And they both have a miscue in a mansion. It just happened to be that Rover being farther away and a deeper dive makes it a little more costly to be more time sink. So it means that Big Daddy Drums will advance to the grand finals and face myself, and we'll hopefully get that scheduled as soon as possible. "24 deaths for as many graveyard enemies as there was across this entire seed is actually pretty good." Let me check. Let's see if we can get either of the runners in here. Hey, Billick.
Brutal. I'm just brutal.
Yeah, that was as soon as I saw it, I felt my heart sink, and then Kalari and Chad called out pulling a move out of my book. Yeah, that's especially when it's Rover, because like that's like the most out of the way mansion there is, so that's the one that you never want to have to go back to a second time.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna go back unless it was required, which like the one item I needed was there.
It looked like a really interesting race, even up past that point, because Big Daddy Drums had a similar instance where he went into Berkeley once, made it almost to the orb, and then didn't have an oak stake, so then he warped back. So having both, having to double dive a mansion made it really look like it was going to be close, but his routing, well, obviously Berkeley is a lot closer to Jova than Rover is, but
yeah, I consider going back in early just to hedge, and if I did that, I probably would have won. But yeah.
Plus, the oak stake economy made that very difficult to not.
Oh yeah, there was no oak stake. Although at least there was one in the Sacred Flame site after you got a block breaker. That helped some, but yeah. I made a point to go back and get the stake twice from. Like, I'm praying that there's something there that we need, because I made that trip back, and then I throw the stake away, and then I'm praying it's not there. It's so funny. GG's, Big Daddy Drums.
Yeah, GG, Big Daddy Drums. How did you feel about that seed? I'm not quite hearing you if you're trying to talk into a mic.
Well, I'm gonna hop off though, but GG's again, the Big Daddy Drums, and good luck in the finals to both of you guys. Looking forward to that match.
Thank you. Yeah, that was a interesting race. If you watch the VOD later, it's really interesting to see how it kind of funneled you to both to do the same things, but the branching ways you took that until you found the block breakers was really interesting. I'm still not hearing anything, so I think that's where we will call it, and so we'll have one more match left between Big Daddy Drums and myself, and that will be the grand final. So Until then, hope you all have a great night, and we will catch you next time. Thanks for tuning in.